What's going on, guys? Maximilian here, bringing y'all another video, and in today's video we are going to be doing some more fingerboarding content. If you didn't catch last weekend's video, I basically posted my first ever fingerboarding video, and that was of me building my first fingerboard complete, which cost about $100, which I know if you aren't familiar with fingerboarding, that sounds crazy. I definitely don't recommend going straight in and spending $100 on a fingerboard. There's definitely some more affordable options out there, but it's just something that I'm starting to get better at and starting to do more, so that's kind of why I invested in this. But that's besides the point. I will definitely link that video in the description for you guys who want to check it out. But today's video is going to be more tutorial based, showing those of you who are starting to get into fingerboarding some basic tricks that you're going to be able to learn and do pretty easily without even knowing how to ollie on a fingerboard. So that's going to be the main point of today's video. We're going to go over 3 basic tricks that I've kind of learned on my path of fingerboarding. And I think all of you guys should be able to do these 3 tricks by the end of the video after I kind of break them down for you guys, because they're definitely on the easier side, and it should be able to get you more hyped on fingerboarding and actually have some cool little tricks to do and play around with. And you can definitely take these tricks and build off of them and make them look really cool. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the fingerboarding section, and we're going to start with the first trick. Before we get started, my apologies if the fingerboarding space looks a little cluttered. I'm still currently traveling in Europe, and this is just the apartment that we're staying in for the next couple days. As you can tell, it's in the kitchen, so there are like appliances and whatnot around. But that's the cool thing about fingerboarding, is you can kind of do it in any type of space and make anything your own little fingerboard park. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Now, getting to the first trick, I'm assuming most of you guys have probably heard of this trick before. We're going to be doing a no pop backside shove it. I'll just do one real quick just to show y'all before we break it down. So it's just going to be a stationary one. Easy as that. As you saw, it took almost no effort, no pop to get it to go around. This is something that you can do moving as well. You can even do it backwards, which would be fakie. You could do it nollie, or you could even do it switch. So we're just going to be focusing on the regular stationary at first, and then you can kind of build off that and go in any type of direction moving once you actually progress and get the idea for how the trick is done. So this trick, just like on a skateboard, it's all done with the back finger right here. It's just going to be like a scooping motion like this, very lightly. And as you do that, you're just going to pick this finger and that finger up right after. So there's going to be a delay of maybe 1/4 of a second where you're going to scoop with that back finger and then lift the front finger and then come straight back down. So just like this, just like that. A little push and jump, push jump. I'll even slow it down for you guys in this one just so you guys can get a full understanding of how it works. And it's going to be even easier if you guys separate your fingers, where the front finger is more on the left side of the board and the back finger is more on the right side of the kick over here, because it kind of just flattens everything out so the board will not go primo. And this is something that will be even easier to do moving and come around a lot easier when you're actually moving, just like in skateboarding. It's just going to be something that you have to get comfortable with. And once you have this one down, you can really start doing a lot of different variations, even doing 3 shoves and whatnot. But that will come later. Basically, for you beginners, just learn to do it stationary first. It's all just a little movement in that back finger, just a little push back and lift up and then back down. As simple as that. Watch this as many times as you guys need and play it back in slow motion, but it really is all in that back finger very slightly and then jumping back up and just having your fingers slightly separated apart. The second trick that we're going to be learning today is more of a freestyle trick called the Flamingo. Some of you may have seen it before and not even known what it was called. It's kind of more of like a boneless variation when it comes to the fingerboarding, but you can use this to go up obstacles, down obstacles, get some height without actually doing an ollie. You can even go into some grinds with it, some slides if you get good enough with it and get comfortable with the motion. But first, we're just going to be focusing on doing it just on flat. So simple as this. You're going to come in rolling, come to a stop like this all the way down on your tail and push down, Then your front finger is gonna come under the board like this. You're gonna push back like this, all the way flat, and then you're just gonna kind of fling it up and release, and then land back down. Just like that. I'll even do it a little bit slower. So you're gonna come forward, stop, all the way down on the back finger on the tail, take your front finger, slide it under, pop back, and then you're just gonna kind of fling it forward slightly and release both of your fingers and then bring them back on top. Now this might take a little bit of getting used to. Your fingers can kind of make it flip accidentally. You can kind of get hung up sometimes. That one actually went pretty perfect because I've been doing this trick quite a bit, but it's just something that you gotta get used to. See, sometimes your board will flip accidentally if you don't get your fingers to the side quick enough. But if you can actually release quick enough and then come back on top in enough time, you're gonna be able to get this pretty consistently, and kind of letting it get a little extra height and letting it float down and then landing on it is gonna be a bit easier to get the hang of it. So don't be afraid to go a little higher. Oop, that one actually flipped, my bad. Don't be afraid to go a little higher and then just float down and land on it once it's actually getting to the ground. But yeah, you can really take this up obstacles and get really playful with it. You can kind of come in, go on obstacles such like that. You can even come, land on the obstacle and come off. Even disregarding the obstacle, just to make it look easy, you can kind of do a couple different jumps. Oop, we landed primo. But you see what I'm saying? You can kind of just have fun with it. You could even learn to kind of flip it the other way, or really any type of variation that you kind of want to do. You could even do it into a grind. That takes a little bit more finesse. You're gonna have to get really comfortable with where the placement is. See, it's a little bit difficult. A little bit of a willy grind right there. Let's see if we can get a good 50. Close enough. You can take a bigger obstacle like a rail and do it into a board slide. That's definitely an easier one to do probably than into the grind. But yeah, this is a very useful trick, especially if you don't know how to ollie your fingerboard yet. It just kind of gives you an extra way to get some pop and some height to actually go up and down obstacles. This was actually a trick that I learned to do after learning to ollie. I just kind of wanted this easier way to get up and down stuff sometimes and spice it up. But it's definitely probably easier to learn than actually getting a full pop on an actual fingerboard ollie. But it's definitely going to be very useful to learn how to actually ollie your fingerboard. But this is something that will kind of just give you a way to have fun with your fingerboard and get up and down stuff before you do learn to ollie. Because learning to ollie took me in fingerboarding maybe like 2 months, maybe even more, whereas I learned this in a day. So it's just gonna kind of, if you're feeling like discouraged or bored with fingerboarding, this is gonna give you a really easy way to get up and down stuff. All right, guys, so the third and final beginner trick to do without actually ollieing your fingerboard is going to be a power slide. Now, some of you guys may not even consider this a trick in fingerboarding just because it's so easy to do. You really just have to turn your wrist and kind of push the weight of your fingers into the board and then push it back around. And it doesn't require like too much skill, but I think it's a steezy way to stop. It's a steezy way just to like, I don't know, kind of cruise around on your fingerboard and show people that you know what you're doing. You can do it front side or back side. We'll do a front side first. Now we'll do a back side. This is a very simple one. It's really all you're gonna do is put your weight into both fingers, kind of bend them down and have the weight kind of distributed equally. As you're cruising forward, just kind of turn your wrist. For front side, you're gonna be turning it kind of like this. And for back side, you're gonna be turning it the other direction, but you're just gonna kind of come in, push your weight down and turn your wrist. It's gonna slide and then you can bring it back the other direction. Same with backside, kind of push in, turn your wrist that way, and then come back around like this. And this is going to be a very simple trick. This will probably be the easiest trick out of all of these to learn, because all it takes is being able to actually cruise on your fingerboard and just push your weight. But when you actually go fast or do a trick and then do this afterwards, it can look really cool. Just like that. You see how I did the heel flip, and right when I land, I kind of twisted my wrist and did the power slide just to kill the speed and kind of have a steezier exit. This is something that I've kind of just implemented into my fingerboarding lines when I end the actual line, and I just want a cool way to kind of end the clip. Yeah, so you can do this at speed. It really doesn't take any skill to do this one. I hope you guys can learn this one very quickly, but I think it just looks cool, and it'll add a little variety and spice to your fingerboard lines once you actually start progressing and having some more tricks to do. So I'll do another little demonstration. So that was just a little front shove into a back power slide, backside power slide. Really not much to this at all. I hope you guys can learn this one quick. There's not really much else to say about it. Power sliding is definitely a lot harder on a skateboard or longboard, but with the fingerboard, all it really takes is, like I said, kind of pushing your weight into both fingers of the fingerboard, and as you're kind of rolling along, just kind of turn your wrist. And backside or front side, both going to be pretty similar feeling. It's just whether you want to turn this direction or that direction. So yeah, I really hope you guys can actually learn to do this one, maybe within even a couple minutes of watching this video. All right, guys, so that's going to be the video today. Like I said, 3 basic beginner fingerboard tricks that you don't need to ollie for. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it helps some of you beginner fingerboarders have something actual fun to do with your fingerboard, and you can kind of show your friends, throw it into your lines and whatnot as you're actually learning to ollie and pop your fingerboard. I hope this keeps you motivated to keep fingerboarding and just get kind of creative with it, because at the end of the day, it's just a fun little hobby, and you should just be able to have as much fun with it as possible. So I hope this can add to your creativity and kind of channel whatever you want to do with your fingerboarding and just progress in a fun and creative way. So please like and subscribe and comment, share the video with your friends if you guys are getting into fingerboarding. As I said in the last fingerboarding video, I'm going to continue to make more fingerboarding videos, but that's not the main focus of this channel. We do skateboarding, vlogging, fingerboarding now, basically all kinds of skate-related content, and this is just kind of something that I'm expanding into. So I hope that you guys are enjoying it. Please let me know if you are, and yeah, I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, peace out, guys. Also, for you guys who are wondering, the fingerboard is actually from Slush Cult. The trucks are dynamic and the wheels are maple. And all of these features that I was actually doing the tricks on today are from Tech Deck. So yeah, shout out those companies. Very cool and very great for the community. So yeah, catch you guys in the next one.